guys, it's Lasha and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about what my experience was like while trying to conceive. So yeah, trying to conceive was such an exciting time for me. My husband and I, we got married October 14th of 2017, and almost a year later, as we were planning our 1-year anniversary trip, we were just talking and like, hey, I wonder, do you think it's time for us to start having kids? And my husband, as he pondered that question, was like, yeah, let's go for it. Like, he was all for it. What are we waiting for? We're not getting any younger. Me, on the other hand, I was a little fearful. I was a little scared, but long story short, God dealt with my fear and helped me to overcome it. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. I am ready to have kids. And so I got really excited. So in August of 2018, I went to my doctor and I was like, hey, my husband and I were ready to start trying to have kids. And he's like, great, this is awesome, so excited for you. And I had been on birth control since August of 2017, a few months before our wedding. So now it worked out perfectly to just be August. I didn't try to plan it that way, it just happened that way. So here we are in August. I'd been on it for a year. And so he's like, finish your pack, and when you're done, you're free to start trying. And he just let me know that my fertility could be, it is somewhat genetic, but he just let me know, hey, sometimes it takes people a few months, sometimes it takes people a few years. Don't be discouraged. You guys just have fun and keep trying. And, he's like, go for it. So we're like, okay. So I got off birth control August 17th, I remember the day, and I had already started taking a look at a few apps to help me just track my body's cycle. I wanted to be able to notice if during this time of trying to conceive, anything changes in my body and my cycle, I'll be able to notice it. And the only way to do that is to track your cycle, track the changes in your body. So I used this app called Life app. This is kind of what it looks like. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, but as you can see, the app gives you the opportunity to track your cycle and your fertile window. So the red lines are the menstrual cycle tracking, and the green lines are your fertile window. And the hearts are how many times my husband and I made love so that we could try to conceive our baby. So I love it because you can keep track of everything and any changes that happen to your body, even when you conceive. If you start feeling sick and you're nauseous and you're like, wait a minute, and you look back at your app and you're like, oh, yeah, we definitely made love that day, so it could be, it was just, I love the app. It just really helped me stay in control and help me to be able to track the changes in my body. So like I said, in August, I got off birth control and we just went for it. Like, hey, let's just start trying. Let's see what happens, And so in August, nothing happened. September, we were, making sure we made love during my fertile window time, and nothing was happening. So we're like, hey, what's going on? I had to really remind myself in my anxiousness to calm down, first of all, and I'd been on birth control, give my body some time to regulate itself. So in the meantime, my doctor just reminded me to make sure that I'm taking my prenatal vitamins already. So I had started taking them in August. I stopped bad habits like coffee. Now they say you can have coffee while you're pregnant. I just didn't want to do it. I'm like, okay, if you have to monitor your intake of something, just stay away from it. Just like tuna. Oh, monitor your intake of tuna. I'll just stay away from it. So I haven't eaten tuna since August of last year. and I haven't drank coffee either. So I just decided to stay away from those things. I started to make sure my workout regimen stayed, pretty consistent. My doctor let me know, if you want to be able to work out while you're pregnant, you need to be working out from now. Your body will remember, even with the changes, your strength and your body tissue memory will kick in and you'll be okay. The issue is when you don't work out on a regular basis and then you get pregnant and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna gain weight. And you run to the gym and you try to work out. That's when people experience issues. So I just made sure I had my workout regimen. I made sure my diet was good, and I started taking my prenatal vitamins, and we were making love on our fertile window. So August, September, October, we decided to take a 1-year anniversary trip. We went to our favorite country, Italy. Again, we love going to Italy. So we went again. We went to Rome. We went to Spain. We went to Portugal. We had such a great time, and we just thought, we're here, we're vacationing. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to make a baby. And we were so sure it was going to happen during that time. And it didn't. So I really had to calm myself down because I was getting so excited, and I just, all of a sudden, I wanted this so bad. But I love that. I love that I wanted it. I love that I'm like, yes, I'm ready to have a baby, because, you know, I see so many people and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready. I didn't want this, you know. But for me, I am sentimental in this fact. I want my kid to know that they were so wanted, you know. But let me not get all mushy, okay? But yeah, so in October we came back, and I'm like, let me calm myself down and just, you know, let God do his thing. In his timing it'll happen. And sure enough, in November I felt my cycle change. So finally, after looking at my app, I saw, hey, wait a minute, my period was 2 days late. Which was a little bit not funny at first, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. And oh my goodness, I wasn't. So, yeah, so it just turned out that my cycle was a couple days off. But what it was my cycle was regulating. So I was like, okay, so this is my real off birth control, natural body cycle. That means we're in the go right now. Like, I could conceive at any time. So November, I was really excited for November. And then the holidays came around, and everything was just, oh, you know, wonderful. They say, you know, a lot of people conceive during the holidays because it's such a wonderful time of year. And so sure enough, December came around, and I got so sick. I was so sick. And I was taking some pregnancy tests. On the Life app, you can track your pregnancy tests as well. So you can track your menstrual cycle, you can track your fertile window, I track how many times you guys make love, track, you know, when you take a test and what the results were. Because it was kind of cool for me in December how I got the negative pregnancy test, and then on Christmas I got the positive one. Just going back and looking like, wow, look at, it's just crazy how it all works. But in December I got super sick, like the flu, it was the worst. And so yeah, it's interesting because within that month, because I was so sick, I came home from work, you know, my boss kept sending me home, like, you're sick, go home. So while I was home, I was like, I mean, I know I'm sick, but we are trying to make a baby. So so yeah, it was a different time of day that we were making love. So normally, you know, we're at work and ministry stuff after work, and then we're coming home late, and, you know, we make love and go to bed. But during this time, it was like, you know, I'm home, we're here, you know, so hey, why not? So so that's how that went down. And then boom, on the 25th, Christmas morning, I find out that I'm pregnant, which was nuts because my period, my last cycle was December 6th. So when I called my doctor, like, doc, I have a positive pregnancy test. He's like, what? First of all, that's really fast. Okay, we just talked about this in August and it's December. Second of all, he's like, you just had your period. I'm like, I know, it's just crazy. You guys, I got a positive pregnancy test at like 8 or 9 DPO, days past ovulation. So it was just like, what? You know, the egg hadn't even traveled where it needed to implant yet. Like, it wasn't even implanted in my uterus yet, but I was getting positive pregnancy tests. So I was like, doc, I got 7 positive pregnancy tests, so I'm pregnant. Because he was just kind of like, I don't know, let's wait and see. No, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. So I came in to see him, and he took my blood levels. And then 3 days later, on December 28th, I started spotting, and I freaked out. I was like, no, I'm spotting, what is this? And when I came in, it had stopped. It wasn't an ongoing spotting. It just happened like one time when I wiped while I used the bathroom. Sorry, TMI. But so when we got to the doctor's office, he's like, that was implantation bleeding, Lasha. Your egg most likely implanted. So I was like, oh my goodness. And so he checked my HCG levels. They were at like 155. So he's like, all right, if they at least double, then we know that everything's good and we have nothing to worry about. So I'm like, cool. So 3 days later, he checks my levels again, and they were at like 500 something, so they way more than doubled. So we were like, oh my goodness, yes, we're good to go, we're pregnant. So we just, oh my goodness, we enjoyed our Christmas and our New Year's finding out that we were pregnant. The only thing I did was just make sure that we made love during our fertile window. I took those prenatal vitamins to make sure the atmosphere on the inside was nice and egg ready, and I just left the rest up to God. There's really no like actual formula. I know people will give you a formula, but really, as long as you're making love during your fertile window, you gotta just leave the rest up to God, because everybody had every advice in the world for me. Oh, don't stress, don't be sick, stay well, you know, don't overcalculate, don't overthink it, well, guess what? My name's Lasha. I was overthinking, I was calculative, I was sick, I was tired, I was stressed, I was everything everybody told me not to be, and I got pregnant. So it's so funny to me, but just trust God. In His perfect timing, your miracle will come. But I just want to share with you what my experience was like while trying to conceive. All I did was, like I said, take my prenatal vitamins. I kept a good diet and workout regimen. I made sure I tracked my cycle so that I could notice any changes in my cycle, and I could, you know, pay a lot of attention to my fertile window, when that was and how it feels. And I didn't go so into like the cervical mucus and keeping track of all that. I didn't do all that. I just kind of followed the app. I wanted to see if the app was true. So what I did do was buy the ovulation sticks to see if the app was accurate. Once I saw after 2 months in a row that it was accurate, I just trusted the app after that. I was like, okay, it seems to have a very accurate depiction of when my fertile window is, so let's just use that. So we did, and thank you God, we were successful. So that was my experience while trying to conceive, and my husband and I are so excited to be welcoming our bundle of joy into our family this year. So as I said, I am 18 weeks currently, and in my next few videos I'm gonna go over what the symptoms were for each different week. I've been tracking them so that I can share them with you, just in case someone else has the same symptoms and can relate and can glean from my experience through this beautiful journey. Alright, so for now, that's all I have for you guys, but you guys take care. You know what to do, okay? Subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you later.